He stood before the altar, looking at the woman he thought he loved. But what no one knew was that just minutes before the ceremony, Richard had discovered the truth. A betrayal so deep, his wedding day would no longer be a celebration. It would be a reckoning. The guests thought his calm was nervousness, but in his pocket he held proof that would shatter every illusion in that room. A phone, a message, a secret that changed everything. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, click the subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming stories. Richard was a hard-working architect, steady, kind, and endlessly devoted. Claire, a radiant event planner, seemed like the perfect match. They met at a charity gala 2 years earlier. From that night on, their lives intertwined like threads meant to be. She made him laugh again after years of loneliness. He had lost his parents young, and for the first time he felt whole. Friends called them the couple everyone envied. They planned their future down to every last detail. But love sometimes wears a mask, and beneath Claire's perfect smile, small cracks began to show. A friend's quiet warning, a message she quickly hid. Richard brushed it aside, because love made him believe what logic didn't. But the truth was darker than he could ever imagine. A week before the wedding, things started to feel off. Claire's phone would ring late at night. Calls, she said, were just work. Messages disappeared. And Ethan, Richard's closest friend and best man, started acting strangely distant. Richard wanted to trust them both. He told himself he was overthinking it. But one night, something in his gut wouldn't let him rest. He followed his instincts and followed Claire. When he saw her car parked outside Ethan's apartment, he froze. He didn't confront her that night. He drove home in silence, gripping the steering wheel until his hands went numb. He told himself love means forgiveness. But deep down, he already knew. The next morning, Richard made a decision. He wouldn't confront her, not yet. He smiled, sent invitations, and went through the motions of a groom-to-be. But beneath the calm, he was studying her every move. He hired a close friend, a photographer, to record the rehearsal dinner quietly. Sometimes, the narrator whispers, silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Days later, a message arrived. Photos of Claire and Ethan, laughing, kissing, alone together. Richard stared at the screen, emotionless. It was the proof he didn't want, yet needed, and instead of canceling the wedding, he simply whispered to himself, "Let's finish what they started." That was the moment his love turned into purpose. The days blurred. Richard pieced together every lie, every message. Through late-night recordings and texts, he learned the horrifying truth. Ethan was the one who introduced Claire to him. From the very beginning, they'd planned it all, to use him, drain him, and disappear. It wasn't just betrayal by love, it was betrayal by friendship. That night, Richard stared at their photos and laughed bitterly. "You think I'm blind," he muttered, "but I see everything now." That was the night Richard stopped being a groom. He became the avenger. The morning of the wedding was breathtaking. Guests arrived in their best clothes, laughter filled the air, and Claire was radiant. She whispered to herself, "After today, everything will be perfect." Richard played along flawlessly, smiling, helping, kissing her forehead. To everyone else, it looked like the happiest day of his life. But behind those calm eyes, he was preparing a storm. He'd arranged for a special presentation during the reception, a gift, he said, for the woman who changed my life. And when the lights dimmed, so would her world. Dinner was perfect. Glasses clinked, laughter echoed, and toasts filled the hall. Then Richard stood up, holding his champagne. "To love, to trust, and to truth," he said softly. The lights dimmed. The screen behind them flickered. At first, everyone thought it was a montage of their memories. Then Claire's laughter filled the room, but it wasn't from the wedding. It was from Ethan's apartment. The crowd went silent. Every photo, every video, every lie, projected for all to see. Claire gasped, tears streaming as whispers filled the air. Ethan stood frozen, pale. Richard didn't say another word. He didn't need to. The truth spoke louder than vengeance ever could. Chaos followed. Guests stared, some in pity, some in disbelief. Claire ran out, calling his name. Ethan followed behind her, ashamed and silent. Richard simply removed his wedding ring and placed it on the table. He walked out of the hall, never looking back. The night air felt cold, but clean. He had dreamed of a wedding, the narrator whispers, but instead he buried an illusion. For weeks, Claire tried calling him, leaving voicemails he never answered. Eventually, he left town. For the first time in years, Richard was alone, but free. Sometimes, the voice continues, revenge isn't justice, it's closure. Months passed. Richard started over. Therapy, quiet walks, a new business he built from scratch. Life moved slowly, but it moved forward. Then one morning, a letter arrived, from Claire. In it, she confessed. The guilt, the shame, the nights she couldn't sleep. She admitted it all, and at the end she wrote, "You didn't destroy me, Richard. You freed me." He read her words in silence, and for the first time he didn't feel anger, just release. The pain no longer controlled him. It was over. Love can heal, but it can also blind. Betrayal can destroy, but sometimes it teaches us who we truly are. Richard's story wasn't about revenge, it was about rediscovery. Sometimes walking away is the loudest form of justice. Sometimes forgiveness isn't about them, it's about freeing yourself. Beat. Would you have done what Richard did? Was his revenge justified, or should he have walked away sooner? Soft outro music fades in. If this story touched your heart, tell us your thoughts in the comments. If you believe truth always finds its way, hit the like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories from Siyun.